Good morning, Miss Beth Howell. How are you today?
Good. How are you, Kelly?
I'm fantastic. Excited about this conversation. I'm always excited about conversations. I am especially excited about this one because there's a lot of people that come to me from the customer experience, customer success, customer service space. So this is going to be a very insightful conversation for myself. To kick things off, talk to me a little bit how you even got into the customer service space.
Yeah, great question. I actually started working at it was a background company,
Mhm.
and where I would have to call customers and let them know where they were in the background process. So this was an outsourcing background company, and that's where it kind of started. I was calling, I was on the phones. The My boss used to say, "You're good at this. You're really good at this," because I would be on the phone. I was only supposed to be on the phone for like, 5 to 10 minutes max. And I would be on the phone 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And they're like, what's going on? Is the customer upset? And I'm like, no, we're just talking and everything like that. So it just led from working on the phones. And then I transitioned out of working on the phones to more of management positions. So I was more being behind the scenes and not on the phone.
Mhm.
And then from there, I went to work in the technology industry. And
Mhm.
then in the technology industry, they were like, we want you to do account management.
Mhm.
And I said, okay, cool, let's do it. Let's see what this is all about. And account management is a little bit different because you're not on the phone. You're basically Zoom or Microsoft Teams, whatever that is, and you're just following up with the customer, finding out how everything is going, what is what is working, what's not working, and then you position yourself to be, how can I help you? I'm the representative for the company, and how can I help make the experience of this company be a successful one?
That's amazing. I hear often from professionals that are in the customer service space about being on the phones and how mentally draining sometimes that can be or
Yes.
exhausting. So are there different levels or different places or avenues or paths? Maybe that's where I'm going.
Yeah, there is different paths that you can go. You can go from being on the phone where you're on the phone 95% of the time, and then you can go to the path of more of account management where you're not on the phone. You're basically using Zoom and you're working with the customer. You're the one calling them. So you can basically have more of that time management and you're not feeling so burnt out in the customer arena. You can manage your time, you can determine when do you need to follow up, because not every day you're going to follow up with that customer. You're going to probably call that customer once and then say, hey, I'll check back with you next month, or it might be in 2 weeks. So you kind of control that more than when you're on the phone and you're just sitting there and you're waiting for a call to come in, or you have to call people for whatever it is.
That's good. That's good. And I think you hit the nail on the head when you mentioned burnt out, because that's the term I was looking for, the phrase that people say most often. And you reminded me of inbound and outbound calls. So
Right.
there's types of roles you can take if you want to just take all inbound or if you want to be the
Yes.
one doing the outbound calls, right?
Mhm.
And I think the one thing I love about customer service is every company has it
Yes,
and the
they do.
demand is there.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what company it is.
Mm-mm.
Every company has to have some type of customer service experience.
Yes.
And so when we're thinking about demand and somebody watching this maybe saying, well, I just don't want to be on the phone, but I'm great at working with people. I'm great at interacting with people. What would you say to them about just the field itself in customer service?
You're always going to have a job. Because this is the one job they cannot give to robots. Okay. You're always going to be in demand. There's always going to be a spot at the table for you because this is one area that like you said, Kelly, every business has to have. They need to know what the customers think about the organization. They need to make sure that when they're onboarding the customer to the organization, there's that person who's going to be with that customer through the contract time, that journey. There needs to be that person who's going to follow up, you know, behind the scenes at the organization and reach out to the tech department, the product department, whoever it may be, and help to resolve whatever issues or challenges that customer is facing. So, customer success, customer service arena, that is one that is going to go for years and years. you know, that this arena is not going to go away. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking about it. If I were to talk to a robot or AI person, I would
Yeah.
know first of all. And I've had that before, and I'm like, get me an agent,
Yes.
get me a person
I've been
because
there.
right, because it'll loop around or something. So I wholeheartedly agree with you on that. It's never going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
What about for those that say, okay, I'm good with working with people. I knew this. My first job was this is dating myself, but I was on the phones and I did telemarketing for water softening companies. Remember? Can you imagine?
Yeah.
So that was my first job. And I wanted to grow in the space because I was really good. I was really good on the phone. So, in that same vein, thinking about the path, because I know you're in executive leadership now, if
Yes.
somebody's thinking about, well, I don't know if I want to be in customer service because I'm on the phone and I don't see a path, how would you speak to that?
Yeah, there was a customer that, or I should say, a client that I worked with, and she was in customer service position. She was on the phone 95% of the time, and she loves working with customers, everything like that. But for some reason, the phone, being on the phone, just it burns you out. And so I met with her, and we talked about her strengths. We talked about what is it that she loves about customer service because you have to have a passion for customer service. And normally, everybody who works in this arena, you love the people, you love interacting. Yes, there's the problem people, the naysayers, but you love working with people. And so when you are at a point of where it's frustrating, I'm being burnt out, but I want something more, you can start to position yourself to be more on the management track. And how you're going to do that is basically taking your experience and knowledge and start showing your manager or the leadership at the organization that this is the route I want to go. But you have to start taking steps towards that. And then if you want to be on the account management side, then start showing that follow up with your customer. Instead of everything being inbound, you're doing some outbound. I'm following up with Kelly. How's everything going, Kelly? And so you can start positioning yourself in the arena that you are looking to go.
That's so good. Just so just taking the initiative on
Yes,
your own without being told to do so. That is so key in corporate.
yes,
Waiting on someone to tell you to do something, or even waiting on the promotion. You're
right.
already in the role. That is just so key.
Yes, yes. And you shouldn't wait for your boss or leadership to say, hey, here's a promotion, here's this. You can actually go with your knowledge and experience and position yourself and go to them. Let them go to HR and develop whatever title, whatever they want to call it. And that way you're putting yourself, letting them know, hey, this is the route I want to go.
That's so good. That's so rich. I think that you could use that, just that framework in any position,
Yes. Hmm.
showing the initiative and being proactive and letting them advocate on your behalf.
Yes.
That's the formula.
Yes.
That's it. That's the part. I love that so much. So I
Yes.
know somebody's watching and they're thinking about, okay, how much money can I make? How right now I'm making this, but if I do decide to stay on the service or customer experience career path,
Yeah.
is there, so we talked about it being in demand, so there's longevity there. We know that. But in terms of compensation, of course, you get the bump for going up a level, but do you
Right.
see this where it can be sustainable? I mean, with everything happening with inflation and all of that, do you see it? Is it by industry? Because you talked about tech. I know that's a loaded question, but what are your
Right. Yeah. You can, there is, the money is there.
thoughts?
And as I look in the industries, the different industries obviously pay better. So tech, unfortunately, does pay the most. But the healthcare industry, also retail, there is the money is there, and how you, if you ever look at a job description of going from like just being on the phones to just being a management position, you will see that there's almost like a $20,000 to $30,000 increase in pay. And
Wow.
then taking that management position and going to a director level is bumping you now up into, um, I would say, probably a starting at right around 100K mark. And
Mhm.
obviously, the more experience you have,
Right.
obviously, you'd get more. And then a VP would be towards the end of the 100K mark into the 200K.
Mm. Yeah, I've seen several customer service executive leaders, just like yourself,
Mm-hmm.
upwards higher six figures to,
Yes.
with bonuses attached
Yes.
to that. There's a compensation package that's super attractive to people. If you get on the right path, have the right guidance, have the right support, it's
Yes.
definitely there, just like you've done in your career. What do you love about customer service that have made you stay in the space?
Yeah. I love working with people. And when customers get it, or they're just like, the light bulb, you could see the light bulb going off, it's like, yes. And, um, and when they come back and they say, Beth, because of you, I was thinking about going to another customer, your competitor, but because of you, I'm staying. And that just like, they become part of your family, work family. They become part of that work family, and they reach out to you, they just bond with you. And I love that. And anytime that I can be around people who, yes, I have I don't want to make it seem like everybody is perfect, but even the customers who are irate or upset, there's a way to flip that script. And then all of a sudden they're just like, okay, whatever you say. You
Right.
go and scratching your head going, I don't know if I could see this customer. But then after talking to them, next thing you know, you're talking about, oh, you live here, you live there. Oh, I went there or whatever. And they're like, okay, thank you so much. Can I call you? Can I email you? I'm like, gotcha.
You're right. I've had that experience where I've called and I'm upset about something, but something about it, like they know, like you guys are good. You're
Yeah,
good. You're good. You're good. Talking us off the ledge. That's
you're
a
right.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Well, this is amazing. This is fantastic. I know you support people, like you said, you help someone in terms of their career path. So we're going to make sure that everyone inside the community, and if you're not in the community, you want to join us, or if you want to speak with Beth in terms of leveraging your skills, you all, it's all
Yeah.
about leverage. You don't have to stay in one spot. You have a
No.
path here. So definitely tap in. Beth, I think we're going to drop this in the community and then they're able to connect with you, right? To
Yes.
talk about that.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely. I would love to talk with them and start mapping out their career paths. Yes.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. I'm super excited. You guys can see how officially she is right now. So
The
she
headphones.
right. She's about this life, y'all. Okay, we're going to put this in the community. If you guys want to tap in with Beth, we'll have all the information below. And let us know in the comments what's
Yeah.
your biggest takeaway. And if you're in a customer service or customer experience right now, let us know kind of where you want to go, and we'll definitely reach out to you. Thank you so much, Beth, for this. This was
Thank
amazing.
you. Yes.